All right. I am back. Let's see. So we just implemented. Yeah, we can remove that evaluating thing. It's working now. So we talked about introducing our first planning agent. To use these new embeddings to figure out where changes needs to be made. Yeah, I don't know exactly know how this should fit together, but let us I'm also kind of curious, like what should this how should this tool be described? Because what I noticed implementing this before is that it tends to treat it as a keyword search as opposed to actually kind of giving a prompt. So I have to make it understand that it can actually write a lot of stuff here. But yeah, we just need to start somewhere. Search application. Yeah, let's just search the yeah, and of course we need, and I think I'm gonna try to use the term prompt here. The prompt to query the application. Search search the application descriptions to find relevant files. Yeah, I'm very curious what it's going to do with this. So we have a tech lead. You're an amazing tech lead that know how to convert user stories into an implementation plan. Blah, blah, blah. So the input here would be user stories, of course. It should really get everything. And I think we can just shove in the whole idea. We're not really going to use the user story specifically or anything like that. How to convert a detailed idea into an implementation plan. Yeah, we just need to start somewhere. We're gonna drop the other agents for now. What did I export here? It's just an array, right? Yeah. Export planning agents. Const. Export. Planning agent is what was it? Tech lean? Yeah, and at this step, we're actually not gonna take any feedback. So I'm thinking here we can make the input a string. Or call it idea. And then we're gonna say, with this idea, suggest an implementation plan. Yeah. With the following idea, the limited in 3 quotes. This is a trick learn. Suggest an implementation plan. So if you have a lot of text, What was the delimiter thing? I can't quite remember. Where was that? OpenAI delimiter prompt engineering. No, you could use XML as well. Delimiter with XML tags. Yeah. With the following idea, delimiter with the XML tag. Suggest an implementation plan. So what we're going to do is do this, and then we're going to say idea. Yeah. And then we're gonna get, let's call it search application. And then we have planning, create planning router. Where is planning agents coming from now? Oh, did I have them? There's something fishy here. I think, maybe not. Search application, this embedder. Yeah, so this is where we're gonna, let's see. Here we're gonna return, or result would be this embedder, search code embeddings, and the prompt, and then await result, and then we're gonna return JSON stringify result like this. Cool. And what we need to do now is on send the system message. So here we have, if we're in user stories, this is how it deals with the flow. But now if we're in planning, we're just gonna let's see. Let's grab the idea first. So the idea would be, yeah, and this is, I should create a function for this. So the idea is a mix of, yeah, let's this get idea. So let's create that private. Blah, blah, blah. Get idea. I'm kind of mixing like idea and user stories here. I don't care. I don't care. So this is basically that thing. Where's the end of the, there you go. What about the POC? Oh, we actually don't have the POC here. We should have the POC. What's this? Prompt. Oh yeah, because this is partly the idea. This is up to the point of, yeah. Do I have more of this idea? No, there's just this one. Okay, but we're gonna do this regardless, and then we're gonna add the POC at the end. Get idea. And then we're gonna this dot state dot flows user stories, and then we're gonna add proof of concept would be and that would be user stories flow POC dot status is approved. User story is flow. POC dot data, I guess. Or there's nothing in there. Okay, so this just returns the current idea. And then we have the idea. And that means, so this is based on, okay, so this is sending a message. Yeah, this is interesting. So it's actually not sending a message that we do start the planning. You have to click a button. So we actually have on event here. Yeah, start planning, click. This is where we want to do the thing. So we want to say this the flows planning run agent tech lead and give it the idea. So this should start. Now it will send a message. It will create a thread and we can start showing that thread in the UI. But what's the typing of this planning phase? Planning flow, we have messages, we have a plan. So we don't really have if we've started planning. So the interesting thing is that yeah. What should we do here? We want to say start planning. Should we just run the thing? We'll start populating messages. I guess what we can do is that if we don't have any messages, then we show the button to start planning and then we just run it. Yeah, I think that's fine. So that will be a planning flow. Yeah, I actually do that. And then we do run the function call. It's so nice to have this typing here. So this would be, I'm not sure why this like doesn't pop up. Is there something else wrong here? I think it's just wait, what's wrong here? Property assignment. What did I do? Property assignment expected? Isn't this weird? That's not the correct. Yeah, no idea what's happening here. Render function call, isn't that how it works? Oh, sorry, I changed this, sorry. Oh yeah, we need to refactor this, sorry. Render agent message and is last message. So what we do here is, let's just copy this, and we don't really have a result message, we don't have to care about that. So we can just do this basically. How do I import? Interesting. And then we can again just grab this. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, sorry. So this is based on what agents are there. We have a tech lead, and then this is the, and then we have the function call, which is search application, and then let's show in the UI what it's actually searching for. So that would be item call parameters. Oh yeah, because here we don't have interesting. Item dot status equals resolved call, should say prompt. It's really nice to have this typing, really helps. So this is just old stuff, and then we have render custom message, and this is like the suggested implementation plan. We don't really care about that at the moment. So, and we're gonna use the main frame, this thing planning main, to actually show the implementation plan. All we care about now is see what the agent does with our prompt. I guess that's it. We should be able to click start planning now. And we should see some messages or a message popping up. Well, we won't really see anything because it should like fill up this array. Yeah, but maybe we could, you know what? You know what? We are gonna render something. Yeah, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna render the. So if message status equals resolved, we're gonna say children push just, or oh sorry, content equals content concat. We're just gonna put it in markdown. So markdown, and what we're gonna put in markdown is the message output, suggested implementation plan. I'm gonna map that to step. Oh, a step. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna say we're gonna do this. Oh, yeah. Step file path. And then we're going to list the changes underneath that. So that would be step.changes map change join by not sure why it looks like this. I think it's correct code. No, it's not. What did oh, I forgot to. There we go. And then we need to join those by, I think I'm going to join them by double. Okay, so now we should actually see the result of this as markdown. And I think we need to kind of put that way back there. Okay, let's see what it does now when we click. This is going to be exciting. So we are on planning. It's running the tech lead agent, sending the prompt. Oh, and we have an issue. Can read properties of the file. Reading concat. Where's that? Workspace. Oh, wait a minute. It's using the normal. I think I'm missing some implementation. So create planning router. It should be using, yeah, it's using the old. Yeah, oh, sorry. We're gonna copy some more. Use the stories router. These are fine. These are fine. It's more what we do. These are fine. These are handle function calls, which are still fine. But this is different. So create planning router. So we should still have, okay, let's just shove it in underneath. I'm gonna rename that symbol to router. Gonna keep that. And then this is what we're changing. Boop. Oh, we need a threads thing. Create user stories, run threads. We need that at the top. Create planning. We're gonna abstract this and generalize it, but for now, we're not confident in exactly how this should work. So, okay, cool. So now it's based on our threading approach. Okay, let's see. Searching task management interface. That's interesting. That was like the worst possible response. Wait a minute, what's this? Invalid state to update text. Oh, why is it doing it multiple times? Or is this the same? Oh, status pending. Invalid state to update text. What's that all about? There's something weird going on here. But this is the suggested implementation plan. But was it based on, like, let me look at the actual prompt. Why do we have so many? Invalid state to update text management. Okay, I think we have a bug here. Invalid, let's be here. Invalid state. Oh, invalid. Oh no, this is in the agents router. To update text. So we're getting a handle message delta. Oh. Yeah, I'm not handling the function call part. We need that. Else if I'm not sure if it really matters. But if last content type equal function call and last content status equals pending, we're gonna update. I think is yeah, this is the thing we want. Last content. So this wouldn't be dot text call last content dot call, and parameters would actually be what? Parameters plus message delta. So we're up, like we're streaming in the parameters here. Doesn't it exist? Oh, call.parameters. I think this is the problem. We're just not updating the message delta of the function call. So it just gave an error for each of these ones. She has a space in there, by the way. But yeah, this is like bad. We're gonna try it again though. Needs to be way better than this. I'm not sure what to expect either. Oh. What do I actually want here? So I haven't prompted it to like, what's this actual prompt? This freaking annoys me in the last focus. Is that like, funny enough, that's like a deal breaker for me. Is there a way to change that? Oh. Let's see. I need to check that. Send always open file in first window or first panel. Send prevent opening files in terminal panels. Yeah, this is really annoying. Anyways, you're amazing that knows how to convert a detailed idea into an implementation plan. With the following idea, delimited with XML tags, suggest an implementation plan. Let's see if what's the actual. Oh, that's wrong. That should be double. Small things like that actually makes it worse. So we need to fix that. Get idea. Isn't that? Oh, for fuck's sake. Get idea. That should be double. Okay, so it actually passes in the whole thing. How big is it, like context-wise? Yeah. So what do I actually want it to do? I want it to... Where's the planning? So this is exceptionally ambiguous. With the following idea, limited. Suggest what do you actually want there? What is planning? Identify existing files. So things like add styles, like it shouldn't. It's so interesting, like because we're using because we're an index CSS file. Of course, it's kind of trained. That's where you do styling, but we're tailwind CSS, so it like it's very, very specific that it shouldn't be doing stuff in the CSS file. And it's also funny to me that it only suggests like styling stuff. I wonder what that reason for that. That's weird to me. But the point is, like, I think we need multiple agents here that does different things. Like one of them identifies what paths or identifies existing, like the root component that we need. And one should figure out like the order of creation of these files. Another one should do this and do that. So I just want to see how far we get with a single agent and kind of build up an intuition for what we actually want there, because I have no idea what we actually want. Identify the existing files that needs to change and what those changes and what changes should be applied. Let's try to do it in steps. Identify what new files needs to be created and what to implement in them. We just have to start somewhere. New file view. This is so bad. Okay. Take off my socks. It's getting. This is just so incredibly bad. Like, we have this pretty detailed. The funny thing is, though, like, I had a horizontal implementation of this with a single agent. That was like way before having like the agents router and all of this. And I know that it works. Like, I know it's possible to create, like, using GPT 3.5 to actually implement this. That's a good. It's good to know that. I know what I can expect. I know I can expect that it should be able to implement this stuff. The point is, how well can it do it? It should be, from the idea, it should be a one-shot implementation. Because I've never seen that. It do it in one-shot implementation. From the previous approach, it was this tedious iteration. And that doesn't mean that it necessarily works, but it should have, like, depending on the complexity. Sometimes I had like persistence and even authentication in there. But maybe we I want to ask it, what is the entry file for this implementation? Like, I'm also have this strong assumption that we're working with a component thing. Like, you could ask about implementing, like, your idea doesn't even necessarily is a user interface. Maybe you want to have notifications or something. Well, I guess it's user interface based as well, but it's almost like, yeah, I don't know what I want. By the way, are we embeddings? Yeah, here it's like, I wonder the what. I wonder what the search code embeddings. Doesn't the result also have like a, yeah, it has a score. So we're gonna give we're actually gonna just return it as an array. Result of item. Oh, result. Score. I want to see the score. I'm not sure what's a good and bad score. But we need, I think we should just go in and be way more specific here. So we're just gonna find, but I'm not sure if this is like if you implement a feature, there's a file where you import that feature. It doesn't mean that you don't touch other files. Like everything happens from that. Yeah, because when I say entry, I kind of mean like the component. I'm thinking from a user interface perspective. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't change other files unrelated. So that's not like imported. We're gonna change the prompt at least. You're an amazing tech lead that is good at identifying. I'm so shooting in the dark here. You're an amazing tech lead. Is good at identifying what files is involved. What existing files is related to an idea. Again, what existing files are related? You're an amazing tech lead that has a good overview, has an excellent overview of existing files and what they do. With the following idea, identify that needs to be that needs to change and what changes that needs to change. I'm not even going to say identify the my god, I have no idea what I'm doing. With the following the existing file that needs to change, what change should be applied, what new files needs to be, and what to implement in them. Oh my god, I think maybe this just, I need to reflect on this. What's interesting to me is when we did this search, we got the index file. So the question is like, why didn't we get the app view file when we search for, what did we search for? Task management. And this is what I mean, like it's a keyword kind of search. It's not like it's very much what exists as opposed to where should I put stuff. And that's the whole point. Like this doesn't exist. But maybe we should do what GitHub is doing. Identify. Maybe we should do that. First, we just identify what already exists. It's really cool what they like. I wonder who came up with the idea of like the current state and then what should be the state after implementation. Well, when I put it like that, it seems obvious, but it was written like it was way it was presented. I found it really interesting. So what were we gonna do? Yes, you're amazing tech lead that has a great overview of the application. Of application files and what they do. And here we are just gonna say, I don't think we need JSON because we need a list of existing. Though I really want this to happen already at the idea level. But again, it helps it kind of reason about where to put things if we know where not to put things, or if it has done some evaluation of the existing files, it's easier for it to understand where to put things. Ooh, I have no idea what we're gonna do with this. What are we gonna do with this? Okay, so we have to limit this. So we're not gonna we're gonna say not changes, but we're gonna list file path and reason, and that reason is gonna be a string. Reason for including this file. And this is not an implementation step. This is file affected by change. And it's so bad I call it an idea. It's a request with the following request for change. Request for change. Or request for change. I should call it request for change. Idea is such, like, it's so bad. Let's call it RFC. Like, that's the thing. Like, you have an idea and it results in a request for change. Change and what the reason for including the file. Okay, we're gonna do that first, and then we're gonna play from there. Identify the existing files that needs to change and the reason for, I don't know. Files to change, whatever. Temperature, that should be very specific. Do not go crazy. Like, I think like 0.5 was maybe why it said like new file instead of, I don't know, maybe. List of files that needs to change. And this is reason. It doesn't need. Yeah, so we can just do this even. Yeah, and this. Okay. Anyways, we just have to like. Oh, hello. Yeah, so I did a stream earlier today, which was fun. I think it was a good stream. Like, we got a lot of stuff done. I'll share some reflections related to some videos I watched and stuff like that. And we got a few things implemented. So now we have like an actual like request for change. That's like, it's called idea here. And what we're doing now is we're moving into like reflecting on planning. What does it mean to create a plan? How do we approach planning? How do we deal with embeddings? And currently I'm trying this thing of, I'm doing something quite crazy because if you think about code embeddings, you kind of think about, you want to be able to search the actual code. That's how we think about code embeddings. But in this case, we don't really want to search the actual code. When we do planning, we want to figure out where to put code, what files to put code into. And it's not necessarily actual code embeddings that helps us doing that. It's more like identifying at a higher level what files are doing. So I'm creating these embeddings that are actual markdown summaries of each file, which sounds super weird. But the point is that when we pass in like natural language prompt that describes a change you want to make, it can now use natural, it can now match that with natural language of what's already in the application. And I wonder if that gives a better result. Currently, it does not give like, it doesn't give, like, I don't have a way to like side by side compare this, but yeah, you know, fun. Exactly. That's how I feel as well. I just love it. I don't care what the result is. It's a learning experience. So when I click start planning implementation, it takes that idea that we saw there, and we're having some issues because it's oh shit, I forgot to, we need some separation here. Oh, why doesn't it? Oh, that's, oh, sorry. Oh, should be like this, but we need to put that kind of thing. There we go. For some reason, we're kind of in this state. We started planning. It's checking the application task management interface, and it gets this embeddings result. And for these files, and I have no idea why it gets that. It's just like, I was kind of expecting it to be. It makes me think there's some deeper problem here. I was definitely expecting it to find more. But is this files to change reason if they sell for the task management interface? So it's kind of stuck on this styling. But you know what we're gonna do? This is where we're gonna try. I'm just gonna try one hit with GPT-4 for Turbo. Is it released now? Is it an actual model? Or is it still preview? Where is it? Well, I think I'm using this one. Yeah, it's still preview. GPT-4 Turbo preview. I wonder what this one does. By the way, I'm only returning 2 search results. Oh, maybe that's why it's doing like more searches. Yeah, of course, because it's getting so few results. Configuration may need updates for styling the task management interface. CSS file likely contains styles for the task manager and needs to be able to accommodate new design element. Oh, okay. You know what? I think I know. Okay. So, okay. I know what we're going to do. So, now we're actually going to return so I talked about the embedder. We're using like a library now for the vector store, and we're going to change that to llama index because it has like first class support for markdown and stuff. But for now, we're actually going to include not just the ID. Let's see. So we're going to say, we're going to actually return the markdown as well. Now, that's going to create a big hit on the context window. But of course, like finding related files, it needs to read the actual markdown it hits to understand like how what's actually relatable here. I'm not only giving the file paths now, and that doesn't make any sense actually. I was just doing this, like I used this for something else previously, so yeah, anyways. We can, I guess we can add, I don't think we need to add the score because it's just sorted by score anyways. And then we're gonna give it summary. So result item. Yeah. So I guess we need to, oh, how the hell do we do this? How do we do this? So how do you do this? Do you include the? I need the actual matches. Wait a minute. How does this work? I haven't worked that much with the embeddings. Do I need to include the actual? Ah, maybe we should change the llama index. How does it actually work? So the cool thing is they have a TypeScript version. Hello, documentation. Getting started, installation, starter tutorial. Because what you do is that as query engine, yeah, like this is really what we want. But it should be pretty straightforward to do this because we have this query engine, and what we're going to do is pass it like the query, and then we actually want the response here. But source nodes for each. What's the actual output here? What is the actual response? Is that like, yeah, that includes the actual, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna implement llama index. Let's see, yarn install, whoa, llama index. And then we're just gonna grab this thing. Now, one of the problems is that, let's see if we can actually do this. So we have our embedder, and I think we're gonna create a folder for it now so that we can. And then we have to store this vector store. And I'm a little bit unsure how you do that. vector stores. I think I saw an example of storage. Yeah, persist directory, exactly. Oh, you create a storage context. Yeah, storage works automatically once you configure the storage. Just configure the persistor and attach it to an index. Only saving and loading from disk is supported. Would you want... Oh, from disk is supported. I thought it was like only saving and loading was the thing that was only supported. But it's, yeah, disk anyways. Cool. Let's move our embedder into the embedder folder. And then we are gonna create a little abstraction for this. Let's just call it index. So this will be like the actual thingy here. How are we gonna separate this? So where does it have new vector store index? So we are okay. We need to do the storage thing first, at least. Yeah. Or should we just change it out? I think I don't know how we're gonna do this. So let's just. I'm not sure how this is actually gonna work. So let's just implement it here, and then we'll see what we do with it. So we're gonna kind of just drop this whole vector thing. I have it in my Git history. So we are just gonna completely change out how we do this. I think we still... Okay, let's just do this from scratch. Blah, blah, blah. What's this doing? Yeah, so that's creating the actual storage context. We'll see what the actual end result there. Vector store index. I guess that is like the thing. Yeah, we have to look at the typing here. Let's just show some code in here so we get some typing. Why is this from source? It should be from llama index. Why are you not happy? Cannot find module? Oh, there you are. So we're getting a storage context, and then the index we're getting here is a vector store index. So that's what we need here. We need a vector store index. So that would be private. Let's just call it index, and it's a vector store index. And the thing is that this is async. Didn't I have... this dot initialize. Okay, whatever. Initialize. Yeah, do we... This is kind of annoying. Because I hate this. It asynchronously... So let's just give it a promise, and then it asynchronously initializes, which is annoying. Like, not from a... It probably makes a lot of sense, but from a coding perspective. So let's move that other code in where we do the initialization. Oops. So storage context and persist directory should be path.join this.workspace path, and then the embeddings. Yeah, and this would be web assistant folder name and code embeddings folder name. And let's just immediately go in here and delete what we have there. So we have a storage context now, and now it's like immediately trying to do documents. So we need to figure out so it doesn't seem like we need to create the index here. So we're just gonna update our other code, which is files to embed. And then we have this document we need to create. Let's look at the get started tutorial. So we are gonna, from documents, yeah, so we need, that's interesting, ID underscore, that's interesting. But let's do it. So we have our document. Oh yeah, sorry, no, this is just, yeah, so this will be in, we need to figure out if we actually have, so this is where I'm like, I have no idea. How do I figure out if we actually have doc store, maybe? Index store? Vector store? Index store? Oh yeah. So this is what I hate. Like now we have to wait this every time. But index store? What can this do? Get index struct. What's that? Struct ID. Doesn't sound right. Doc store? Oh, here we go. Get document hash. Oh, this is interesting. Get document. And get document takes what? Doc ID. Okay, let's say that's file path. And then false. We're not gonna raise an error. And then we have to wait this again, which is weird. Okay, so let's just do await this dot index. So we have the index, we check the document, and then we need to check. So current item, what is that? Okay, and we have metadata there. So I think this would just work. So this is just evaluating the files. Do we actually have the file in the store? And then down here somewhere, we go through the files. We only evaluate those that should update. And for each of them, we're doing this queue thing for rate limiting and reading the actual contents. We're creating the summary. And this is where we now need to actually, yeah, we're gonna add a document. So we need to create a, So the document is the summary. ID is the file path or result, evaluated file path. Where are you? Cannot find. What's wrong here? Oh, that's weird. So we're creating this document with the text. Like I haven't looked at much of this documentation. I just have an intuition that this is the right tool for the job. Split text and create embedding. Like how does it know which text splitter it should use? But we shouldn't have like vector store. So we need the index again. Await this dot index. So what we would need here is from documents, like we just want to add a document. So index, we would do doc store and then like add documents. Oh, document exists. We have something like that. Okay, so let's just do, we're gonna do, this can be optimized later. What's the other stuff? Allow update. True, I guess. Like it wouldn't actually update here, but whatever. But how do we add metadata to this thing? Oh, that's how you do it. So we want to have this metadata. And yeah, so here we don't actually need to grab the vector. It uses OpenAI to do this out of the box. So I don't even need this vector stuff. We can just give it the summary and then it creates the vector and everything. So this is also nice. It's like higher level. We don't need this. All right, let's drop that one. Do we have valid code here? I think so. So we're gonna add documents and it returns, well, nothing. So yeah, this is really all we need in that sense, I think. And I'm wondering why it's not like, why is it not formatting this? Is there, yeah, identifier, I did something wrong. Where do you expect an identifier? Where did I make my mistake? So this is fine, evaluated files. For each, you're fine, 483. Oh, this is where I made my mistake. Yeah, so we're not going to do any of this. Let's just do this, and then we're gonna comment out all these other embedding searches. Cool. Okay, we're getting there. Now the thing is, it needs the OpenAI API key. But could I explicitly pass it? Would you allow me to do that? Because I do have it in. I guess I could maybe. Yeah, I wonder if I can do it like API. Oh, this is just. It's just a bunch of stuff that doesn't help me one bit currently. Oh, maybe this one can do it. Let's try it. Where's my didn't I do an import? Oh, there they are. So what if I API key? There we go. Where are my API key? Where's my API key? So the embedder has, I think we're passing in OpenAI here. Yeah. Is it in the editor we're doing this? Oh my God. Hello, editor. Oh, new OpenAI. Where do I actually create OpenAI? Is it in the workspace? New OpenAI. There we go. Get OpenAI key. Where were we? There we go. Get OpenAI key, and I think you can find it from somewhere. That didn't help. How do you... Oh, this is fascinating. Oh. There we go. That looks better. Cool. Okay, so we are... Oh yeah. Let me check the... So search... we have some other embeddings here. Let's drop this one. Search doc embeddings. And now we have, what's wrong here? Agent functions 165. Yeah, Tailwind. Let's remove this as well. And then we have one error in, yeah, return type annotation. That's fine. Okay, so what I want to do now is make sure we have some logging on storing the index. Store doc. And then we're gonna see if it actually stores the documents. And then we're gonna check that it yeah. Then we're gonna check if it runs it again. And then we can implement the query. Probably gonna crash like... Oh, reading doc store. Where? Properties of undefined? Oh, didn't I actually... Oh, excuse me. Storage context. Oh, yeah. So, wait, didn't I actually... This index equals await vector... Wait, can we use the storage thing? Storage. Yeah, so we need something else here. I'm not sure what we need. So not from documents, but from... But how did I just use the persisted? Oh, I can probably adjust a need. A new vector store index. I think it's still init. If we can pass in the storage context. What does it return? A vector store index. That's not what we want. Oh, wait, do we? We do. Why didn't that work? Didn't we type it to the index to Promise of vector store index. What you're complaining about? Oh, sorry. Sorry. So we're not gonna do this. We're gonna return this, I guess. Oh, okay. So let's do index, and then we're gonna return that index from this thing. Where are you? Return index, and then so that we can access that index later, and then we're gonna say this index is initialized, and then we have access to the index here, so we don't need to await it, we just have the index. We don't need to await it there, or we don't need to await it here either. Cool. Let's see now. So now we have the index, we store the documents, we return the index, so we can access it for querying later. Oh yeah, let's see what's happening. Oh. Wait, still? Oh, we still hadn't. Oh, it doesn't compile. Now it compiled. Let's see now. Oh. Without nodes or index struct. So this is what I don't quite understand, is how this storage works with initialization. Because here, like, it always initializes from documents, but it should just use what's persisted. Doesn't mean I just give it like an empty. We can try to do that. I can do from documents. If, It just feels wrong. Init. What did it say? It said can initialize vector string without nodes or index struct. What the hell is an index struct? Is that maybe that's inferred from the document? What is an index struct? So like here it actually infers the index struct, but if you don't have that, you have to kind of define an index struct. Maybe. I have no idea. Summary index? Yeah, I think there's a lot to learn here. I have no idea what this is. Index ID, summary, undefined. Maybe we can just try searching the World Wide Web. Llama index, load vector index from disk. I think, yeah, so this is simple directory reader. Oh yeah, that's something else. I wonder, from documents. I don't want from documents. I want what's in the storage. rebuild. Allows you to save an init for later. This is particularly helpful when dealing with large document sets where creating an init can take considerable time. Let's see how to save. Persist. Okay, so we actually have to call persist. Index to disk. Rebuild storage context. I don't think we have to do that. New index. Oh, load index. Load index from storage. Oh, interesting. That's the thing I was looking for. Load index. How do I do that? Storage context or load storage. Oh, didn't I have storage context? Oh, storage context from default. What the hell? What's the equivalent in TypeScript? Load index from storage. Hells. Would it be from vector store? Would that be like vector store? No, I don't think that's it. That's something else. How these kinds of things? Llama index TypeScript load index. Yeah, but I want the TypeScript version of this. God damn it. Where's this coming from? Maybe storage context. Maybe that's a thing. Storage context. Doesn't have anything. Oh, it's just a type. Yeah, storage context. What's this? Is this also a thing? Storage. Oh no, of course that's my variable. There has to be something about this. How do I just load it from? How do I just load it from the vector store? Can I search loader? Yeah. Something else. What was the load index from storage? How do I load the freaking index without adding documents? Or should we try from documents with an empty array then? Did we try that? Let's try it. I can't remember if we tried it. It would feel much better to just do it. Oh, it's doing it. Okay. So now, if we no valid data found at index store, vector store. Okay, but it didn't do it again, so it actually did work. I guess it's because it's a doc store, right? So this is just, yeah. Okay, I think it worked. Wow, that was confusing. What I do wonder though is how does it understand? So it supports different. Oh no! Don't tell me. Ah, it is this. It is init. Damn it! Why didn't it work? It needed a struct. It said it needed some kind of struct thing. Maybe that only works if it actually exists. That might be. So init actually fails with that weird message if it doesn't exist. Okay, so we're gonna comment that from document should use though probably errors if no index. Need to handle that. Yeah, and then instead of like doing individual documents here, also like doing get document for everyone to figure out, maybe there's a metadata kind of thing. There's probably better ways to do this. Okay, but what I don't understand is how does it know what splitter to use? Summary retriever mode. Yeah, I'm very curious to learn more about this stuff. Agents. Oh, wait. Hell, do they have... Wow, I didn't know they had this. Oh, wait, this is Llama Index. New OpenAI agent. Oh, interesting. Anyways, what were we doing? We're gonna try the query, but we're also gonna figure out how does it do text splitting? Because that was kind of the thing. Chunking. Because it needs to know the type of file. Like I'm just giving it text. How does it know to... Yeah, I no idea what I'm doing here. I probably need some iterations. Wow. Is there like some markdown? Let's see. Maybe I can search for markdown page. That's too funny. Markdown reader. Do we have extract text from markdown file? Dictionary with keys as headers and values as text between headers. Implements file reader. Okay, this is what I don't like about technical documentation or like API references. I have no idea how to use this. I absolutely no idea. I know people who like actually learned Java at school will understand this, but I don't understand it. Load data. Oh, maybe that's it. Let's say we have a read file that we're using here. So what if I do markdown reader? Could you import? Is it? Oh wait, we're not actually reading. Yeah, that's the thing. Sorry. Yeah, we still need to do this, but we also need our markdown reader. So, oh, but it takes a file path. That's interesting, because I actually have my markdown as a string already. Why is fs complete file system? Markdown implements markdown reader. Markdown node parser. Nodes from documents. Is that what I want? Include metadata, include parent next rel. Build node from split, get nodes from documents. I guess get nodes from node. Like, this is very involved stuff. Like, I think, like, as these models get better, like, it's kind of like a, now we need improvements in the models, but this is like slowly not becoming a thing. It's like, it's how well we can retrieve context for the models. That's going to be the bottleneck for from defaults. Why isn't there like a text explanation of what it does? Okay, but let's mark down node parser. Let's just explore. So what I was thinking here is like, blah. From defaults. So what is that? From defaults. I guess we want a parser. New parser dot get nodes from documents. And I guess what we do here is like summary. Oh, and it needs to be. Do they have an example? I only learn from examples. Documents. So do we like need actual? So if I do this, what the hell am I doing? Can I just say what parser to? Can I tell it what it is? And then it would just use that by on its own. That would be amazing. Text template, what's that? Is that like a string or a? Yeah, it's a string. Ugh. I don't understand this. Like, this is what amazes me, makes me most uncomfortable as an engineer. It's watching other engineers looking at documentation like this and just, oh, that's what I have to do. That's very uncomfortable because I don't understand this stuff at all. It would be much easier to just use the markdown reader. I think. Maybe we should just lean on Google for this stuff. I'm just gonna check my Slack here. Let's see. What we're gonna do? Llama index and markdown. Yeah, but this is the same API reference stuff I don't understand. And llama index. But I have a feeling they're using the table of contents, but there's no. That's a weird article. Markdown. First, you need to parse the markdown document to extract the text chunks and the image. You can use a mark like Python. Markdown to HTML, and they can use that like to extract the text and the image URLs. I have a feeling like understanding like RAG and Markdown is gonna be super helpful, because because Markdown seems to be a format that the LLMs kind of prefer. And even for embeddings, it's good for embeddings because you can like use the different headings, like it's more predictable separation. Oh, here's something. Yeah, so this is just a markdown reader. It gives you documents, at least. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder. Oh, this is interesting. So there has to be something about these documents that says that it's markdown. But what's that? What if we use a markdown reader and look at the typing? Where are you, markdown reader? Let's take a look at you. So you have load data, and it returns a document. Oh, object type. Maybe that's it. Oh, text document. Is that like markdown? Do they have anything about markdown? This is so annoying. They actually have to read a file using this to look at the documents. What's also interesting, it's like multiple documents. Oh, markdown tuple. Parse tups. Markdown to tups. Is that something I can use? I just want it. I want to do this, but I don't want to do it from disk. I'm feeling I'm getting stuck on this. And what would you use these tups for? Tuples. What are they for? I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. God damn it. Like, I don't want to write them to disk just to, just to read them again. That's silly. But what can I do with these? Can I use these tuples for something? Structure markdown. Llama index read add markdown string. What's this? Markdown element? Extract elements. No idea. But markdown node parser splits the document into nodes using custom markdown splitting logic. But what are these nodes? Are they... But this is from document. I have no idea what I'm doing. What is this? Is this like paper world? There was a markdown string. Yeah, and something else. I'm stuck. I have no idea how to do this. This is getting too much over my head. I'm getting into staring mode where I just stare at things and hope it just solves itself. This is really annoying. And this is like, I have no idea if this makes any sense at all. Like, I guess what we can do get type. But this can be something else. Like, I don't know. Oh, this is so annoying. Oh, Python. But this isn't Python. Oh, but this is interesting because now I think we're splitting up the same file. So we can't really do this. But that's only given that. Anyways, we have to look at that later. I can't handle this. Let's just implement the search code thing. How do people figure this stuff out? I don't understand it. How do people figure it out? So I have a feeling that a document is just nodes. Can you do like from node? From document or add document documents? Can you like say index doc store add node? Can you like, is there some node thing? Yeah, no idea. No freaking idea. Await, so index is await this dot index. Query engine. And then query. And let's look at the response. That was rough. Did it actually do something? Yeah, searching application. Oh. Set OpenAI key. That sucks. So I can't do that with just embedder. That sucks. Do I actually have to set it? Node set and variable at runtime. Ring is bad. Can I do it at through process? Okay, let's just try that. That didn't help, so we're gonna rather do process and open AI API key equals get open. Let's see if that works. Okay, I guess that's kind of good. I guess that's kind of good. What if I ask it to... What if I ask it to get like the root component file or something? Agent flows. Oh my god. I'm noticing I'm getting in a bad mood. Oh, by the way, we need to move back to this one or it's gonna ruin us. So what did I task? Identify this event and this change and the reason for including the file. Yeah, so this is like super ambiguous. I was kind of asking it about what the hell do we want it to do? Like the expected output here is that it finds the app view file and that's where it's going to implement it. Maybe I should try that. Find the file where we should implement this feature. I wonder what it does. Let's not do files to change. I don't think this. We're just gonna give it a response now. We're not gonna do JSON. We're just gonna ask it until we have something that makes sense to us. Oh yeah. Why doesn't this break? Anyways, there has to be some change I need to make to this. Yeah, so there's no like resolvement of any kind. What we're doing, we're saying run agent tech lead. Yeah, and we're just passing in the prompt and planning. Yeah. Okay. Let's see now. Find the file where we should implement this feature. Like that doesn't make any sense, but I need to build up some intuition of what we should do with this stuff. Oh, where are you going? Look, oh, planning. All the time, all the time. Why didn't it show the? Do we have a typing issue again? Dag nugget. I don't want to fix that now. Why did it disappear? So it streamed in. And then it's suddenly gone. Why was it suddenly gone? I'm confused. Oh, do we actually need to show the output? Why is this text empty? Is it because I'm using JSON for everything now? I haven't actually fixed this. Oh, I think maybe it's my text done thing. The data that makes up the text. I have a feeling this is empty for some reason. Come on. Create planning router. Sorry, it's getting kind of boring now. But we just have to push through it. On message delta, on message done. Why does it come as output? It should just be there as text. And it's getting message delta. It has to be this string. That's wrong. On message done. Handle message done. And then we're inserting last content. And the last item is text. So yeah, this has to be empty for some reason. Handle message done. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't pass in anything. We're just gonna say it's completed. Like, that's enough. Oh, I think that was related to, okay. We're gonna do this instead. Text is text or last content text. So yeah, it's because in the completions API we don't have. You know what? No, we're just gonna set it, and we have to use a delta. If we're not using the streaming API, we're gonna use a delta instead. Handle message done. So this is not gonna have any text. We're just gonna set it to completed, and then in our workspace, we don't care about on message done. Handle message delta flow handle message done. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And we don't care about this. And I think we have a similar thing up here. Oh, that's something else. Wait, agent router. Oh. Yeah, so this should never happen. We shouldn't have lost content. We should have lost text content. So that would be last message content, fine. Content type equals text. So if last, yeah, and of course it doesn't actually make sure that it's text. It's so annoying. The typing, I thought they fixed this, like with find and filter, that it will actually give the correct typing here. Oh, weird. Oh, can I do this? Okay, cool. So this is not gonna work. Else error cannot set message done to completed. Ugh. I guess it should always be the last thing, but yeah, doesn't matter. Let's see now. Yeah, so this is interesting. Why does it infer? Oh. Completed before. Oh. And this isn't true. This isn't true. I don't care about this. I should really like last call. So last content or type. status not equal to completed. So if the last content is text and it's not been completed, or oh, sorry. So if last content last content type is text and the last content status is not equal to completed, yeah, I think this is right. Anyways, so why is it with my prompt? You're amazing tech lead that has a great overview of the application. Find a file where we should implement this feature. Maybe this doesn't make any sense. Maybe this isn't the way to actually get how does it know where to implement something? Like previously when I gave it all the files, it would it was pretty good at figuring that stuff out. But now I'm not sure what I want to happen here. Like if we just have these embeddings, how do we? It seems to me like a very specific task. Find the root view component. I'm just gonna. I need to. It needs to give me something. Oh, did I mess something up? Oh, come on. Oh, I have this freaking cold. It's super hot and yeah, I'm not in the best. Oh, so last content type. Handle completed. Why is this? Why does it say this is not? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now I understand. Parsing. Wait, I'm confused now. So if the last content type is not equal to text, or it's not completed, that's what it looked like before, right? Why did it say that last time? Completed before. Oh, because I want this to set. Oh, okay. No, yeah, sorry. I think I had the wrong check here. Okay, let's try again. Okay, that's interesting. Oh. Completed before. Oh, is it because handle completed runs before handle message done? Oh, for frick's sake. I removed that, didn't I? But we don't actually need. Wait a minute. Yeah, but we don't actually want to send in the message. Oh my god. What did I do now? Is this the... Is this how it should be? No, I messed it up completely, I think. So yeah, we want message done. Okay, I think this is it. Sorry. But it didn't find anything, which is interesting to me. Why didn't it find anything? You should find something on view component. Oh, now I had that fucking problem again. What the hell is happening here? Oh my god. Handle message done. It just says... Oh, what the hell? Why does it become an empty string? Text is empty string. But there's nothing here that empties out the string. Is there? Handle completed. Do we do that here? Last content output. Oh, generate response. Oh my god. I can't believe this. My bad. It's because here, when we generate the response, we need to return a response. Cool. But yeah, empty response. So our embedder didn't work at all, and I find that interesting. Why didn't it work? We did populate the documents successfully, I think. Let's see. Console run. Got document current item. Can I like get content, something like that? What's that? Metadata mode. What's that? Yeah, let's do 2JSON. See what happens. Okay, this file is a Vue.js component template that contains a container div with padding of 4 units. So it's definitely there. But when I do start planning and I ask for view component, it's an empty response. How can that be? Oh, fuck. I'm not returning the actual response. But it's empty. Yeah, sorry. It's empty response. And then source nodes. We should log the source nodes as well. But it's funny. Let's return a response. Empty response. Query engine. This is kind of annoying. It doesn't work like the example. Like the example was very simple. Just go and put a document in there, query, and then get the output. But I'm not getting it. I'm just not getting it. But we can see that we have the documents in there, which makes me confused. Hmm. Yeah, no idea how this stuff works. That's kind of sad. That is kind of sad. Um, yeah, it just doesn't find anything. Why doesn't it find anything? How? Hmm. Am I missing something obvious? Doesn't it? Oh, wait. Oh, maybe it hasn't loaded. Wait, it has to have loaded, or I couldn't find the documents. Uh, is it because it's a question? Like, is there a different? Like, that sounds weird when I say it, but maybe it should be as retriever or something. Retrieve? What the hell is retrieve? And what does it retrieve? Blah. What is blah? Null with score. Maybe it should be blah instead. Let's see. Yeah, maybe query is more like creating a I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, I had no idea. Maybe I can like have a custom query here. Query. Do we have a view component? Huh. Why? It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. uh, uh, hmm. Querying. Built an index and store that index for later. Have we built that index? I don't think we have. How do we do that? Why isn't that part of this thing? Examples. Do these ones have? None of these are actually like. Oh, maybe it's because of this. Let's try this again. It's probably just a silly thing. I would expect it to be a init, but then now we actually have the files there, so maybe it will work now. No, now it fails. Without nodes or index struct? What the fuck does this mean? Hello, Adam. I'm in a bad place. I'm super confused why I can't make this work. You'll have to excuse me. When implementing basic demo. What the hell is this? Sweep AI? Yeah, this is what I'm copying the code from the demo. This is what I'm experiencing as well. November? And there's no response? Is this like, what the hell is this sweep thing? Modified, ensure that only one of index struct or index store is provided. But what is index store and index struct? I don't understand. What am I not doing? So there's probably something happening under the hood with from documents. So we're gonna try something. I'm very confused by this. Move to bin. So we're gonna what are we gonna do? We're gonna try let index vector store index, and then we're gonna try to do this. We're gonna try to let's see. Blah 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 files to embed. And here we are evaluating. So we're kind of narrowing down the thing. So we need to do this regardless. And then we're going in here. We're initializing. Whatever. That watcher thing is something we're going to do later. Ah, this is so annoying. I don't want to play around with this. I just want to make it work. Catch. And this is updating. I guess it's always updating. Let's just do that. Well, no, let's do this. And then we're gonna take the evaluated files and we're just gonna return them. And then we're gonna do like choose if we're gonna so these are the evaluated files. Well, we need to do that regardless if we're initializing or not. The question is, yeah, how do we get the index? Ah, this is so complicated. I don't like this. We have to, like, if we are unable to initialize the vector store, we can, there's no reason to get document either because we don't have an index store yet. So these are like different, you know, let's just do, let's say that it's working. And then we're looking through what we need to update. And this is of course a queue. I'm getting so discouraged by this. Okay, documents will be promise all. We need to map this, and then we're actually going to return new promise of document. I don't know where this. Yeah, document, of course. Resolve. Then we need to do. Did I have one too many here now? No. No. Ah, fuck. So that's that queue thing. That's fine. And then we have the promise, but it's still wrong. Yeah, because now we need to remove that one. Yeah. So what we're gonna do here, we're rather gonna resolve the document. I'm gonna say resolved. And then we're not gonna do this here. We're gonna do this where we have all the documents. Oh, so you're gonna be there, and I'm gonna have another one there. And then we're gonna say await index store documents. And we have to wait. Okay, so now we're actually just storing all the documents. No, sorry. So this is gonna be index equals vector store index from documents. So this is creating it. Oh wait, yeah. Okay, so this is when. Oh, sorry. So this is when it fails, meaning that we don't have a vector store to initialize. So we're gonna create one, but then we might have one, and that means we need to update it. But at least now we can go in and we can see if this is what was missing. So that when we do from documents, it will actually create whatever was missing. Yeah, let's see now. So when we open this workspace, oh fuck, doc store. Oh yeah, sorry. So so there is no current item. There's never no current item. Yeah, so should update is always true. So we're gonna change this later, but let's just do this for now. So it's resolving documents. And I wonder now if we ask it, if it actually returns something. And then the question is, does it still do it after we start it again? Yeah, now it found it. That's great. Okay, so it was definitely how we initialized embeddings. I was wrong. Okay, great. What happens now if we close it and open it again? Does it still ask about that thingy? So here we should what? Oh, throw error. We should run through this again. I think it will fail. Let's see. No, it still gives that fucking cannot initialize vector story without nodes or index. I have no idea what this means. What does this mean? Why don't you help me? Ugh. But this is also interesting. Like, Starting new store. That's also interesting. Didn't it save anything? Oh, it didn't actually save anything. That makes sense. Why didn't it save anything? Do I have to explicitly tell it to persist? I did see something about that. Why didn't it persist? Vector store index from... So here it says nothing about... You have storage oh, wait. Did I forget the storage context? Oh, sorry. My bad. My bad. Okay, let's see now. Needs to do it again, but that's fine. So hopefully now it has a storage context, and now we're gonna still make sure that we throw the error here so we don't do it again. Okay, so it didn't fail. That's great. So if we start planning implementation, do you still find the file? And you do. Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so that was the problem. Yeah. Okay, so now we can at least get some information here. I'm gonna do this, by the way. Yeah, and then we can play around with actually using a markdown stuff later. Yeah, so in the embedder, search code embeddings. Let's use the query that's actually coming from. And yeah, so we don't need the full response here. Item. Oh, was it the source nodes? Oh, this is interesting. The root view command is the app file. Yeah, because I return a response here. But I also want it's interesting how it's almost like it's funny how maybe I'm doing this wrong. Like, okay, this is interesting. So I'm implemented this query as a tool for the LLM to ask questions, but I can flip it around because like previously with these embedders, they have been more like they haven't actually responded with something. So what we could do is actually treat, but why don't you select a model for this? Like, how does it produce its response? It has to talk to OpenAI, and which model is it using for that? Yeah, which model is it using for this stuff? Maybe that's in the documentation. Models. One thing is the query. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's the API key. Okay. Oh, okay. So we just need to set both of them. Great. This helps. So we don't have to do that. We can rather do settings. Oh, we don't already have settings. Why is it complaining? Oh, and we can even say, ah, nice. Okay, I think we're gonna use a new client for this, new OpenAI client, which is fine. Why is this typing wrong? Type is missing the following. That's interesting. Oh, wait, it's a different OpenAI. OpenAI as Llama OpenAI. There we go. Maybe it uses GPT 3.5 by default. But we're also going to put the embedding in there. Embeddings, available embeddings, OpenAI. Settings, embed model. Oh, sorry. And we're going to do the same API key, get OpenAI. Okay, cool. Now I think we have what we need. Now the question is, what do we return from this? Yes, we have the response, but we also have the source nodes. So yeah, so what I was talking about, like, why do this round trip at all? Why can't I just use this tool as part of the flow? So when you go into planning, we just go and ask it directly. Give me a list of blah 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 blah. Give me the root. Well, I know the root component, but how? Yeah. Yeah, I really have no idea how to approach this. Like so this has definitely been like a learning stream, just to help build up some intuition, build up some tools, and then we have to reflect on this. Thanks for watching, by the way, Adam. So do you have, and I use the translator, do you like, is it a live translator, like audio translator, or just a text translator? But yeah, awesome. You're definitely, I feel with you. I feel like a bad programmer at the moment. uh, we all do, all the time. Like, what's it called? Imposter syndrome. Like, we all feel like shitty programmers at times, especially when diving into stuff we haven't done before. And let's see. Okay, so we're getting this. Let's reflect on this. So we're going into planning. We're going to start planning. Now the tools we have is we have the ability to generate something from directly from the embeddings. but the response is like, it's just a text response, like natural language, and that's really not what I need. It would be nice if it could do like a JSON response. But we could use the references instead. But the problem is, if we use the source nodes, is that they're very verbose. But maybe we could just try simplifying them. And like now, the full summary is part of every single thing here. But let's just try doing node.metadata.file path. Isn't that the thing? Metadata. Why are you complaining? It doesn't? Oh, .node. That's interesting. What was the... Oh, the score. Okay, well, we don't... So what we can do, we can filter out like low scores. We should have a very high score. So we can do that. But I don't care about that now. So we're getting the file path. And we're just going to give it the text now. And then we're going to let the other LLM figure out if this is the thing it wants to use or not. Text would be no.text, I guess. No. Why is that wrong? It doesn't? Oh, does it have a type? Oh, of course it has a type. No.type equals... Are we gonna return? No. So if type is... What the hell is happening here? Doesn't even base node have a type? What does it have? I have to use get type? Okay, this is confusing to me. Why? We can't do any type inference here. Is type? Oh. I guess there's some way to do this. Documents nodes, metadata extraction, ingestion pipeline. Oh, this is scary stuff. Questions answered extractor. No idea what this is. Query engines. Maybe they have an example here where they kind of do the... where they ask query. Yeah, but how do I router query engine? Wow. This is crazy stuff to me. I want to have some typing on my nodes. How do I get some typing on my nodes? I guess it's like there are some helpers for this. Node parser. Oh. Maybe I can just check if it's a text node. Node instance of text node. Oops. Look at that. That should work. And then we give it the file path and the actual text. And then it's up to the other LLM to like evaluate the result, and then let's see what it says. So there's a lot more context, a lot more tokens produced now, because we're sending back the full text of all the results. But when we have But now we're putting it into the actual thread context, which is good. And with a markdown parser, we won't actually populate with all the markdown. Okay, so we're a little bit further. So now we can. Oh my god. Let me just check my. Cool. Let's see. Find the root view. Okay, so what we're going to ask it now is how do we... Okay, we're just going to... It has a request for change. We're going to do a more generic thing. Figure out where to implement this request for change. Start planning implementation. Okay, so this is better because now it's actually getting results. But it's completely wrong. Why didn't it suggest the view file? Was it even part of the result? Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, it's querying task management. So it's almost like we're not describing this tool well enough. Like, this tool is there to... It's not like, it doesn't make sense. Like, we have a request for change for a task management system, but you don't search the application for task management to implement it. It's almost like it's treating it as what kind of tool have we actually built here? Yeah, I think it's what... Okay, so I'm trying to find like perspectives here. What do we want it to do here? What do we want the prompt to be? So we asked it to figure out where to implement this, and to figure that out, what would I do? I would go in and I would like look at the files. Like, if I actually had a summary, I would rather read the summary to figure out where to go. But I wouldn't search for anything in the code base to figure out where to implement something. I would like explore the code base, which is interesting to me. It's like, how would that look like as a tool for an AI to figure out where to implement something? So you can imagine, like, if you have an actual assistant, like a traditional like engineer assistant, you could say something like remove the delete task button, and it would make perfect sense to do this search, like a task delete button, and it would find it, which file it's in. It will be able to do that. But when you're implementing something new, how do we reason about where to implement it? Like, it's completely intuitive to me that it should happen in the app view file. But why is that intuitive to me? It's almost like because it's a leaf file, which I find a bit interesting. So this is the very beginning. So this depends on this file. What's in the main file, by the way? Yeah, no, it's just starting the application. But the point is we didn't actually get a hit on... It's funny that we got any hit. Like task management. Like, yeah. So I'm thinking that the query is complete. This is the thing that's wrong here. It's not reflecting what we're trying to instruct the LLM to do. But I'm not sure what we're trying to instruct it to do. That's the problem. Like I've had a lot of success just giving it not even any contents, just giving it all the file paths in the project and then ask it to figure out where to implement something. So maybe that's better. Yeah, I'm not sure. Find the best entry point to start implementing this change. Find the most the most fitting file to start implementing this change. I'm very hung up on the starting point there. I'm like, this could take a very different turn. Yeah, but that's because you didn't get a hit on the view file. So I know if I rather gave it a list of files, it would much better be able to evaluate that. So, okay, so maybe that's what we should do. It's like we're going to give it a function so that it can get a list of all the file paths in the project. So you can evaluate which file it should implement the feature in. Like this, like where it's coming together. It's very interesting. Like we can also create tools that are like, this is quite low level. We could also have, instead of have a generic search, we could also create specific search functions. So we could have find entry for implementation. And then we could have a very specific param for that. And then we would rather implement in the app using the embedded query, where we would create our own query. Wrapping like the param coming into the function. Because there are very specific things we want to figure out here. Okay, but okay, now we have this embedding thing. This is great. Now let us, I think I already have. So this embedder, it actually has all the files to embed. These are all the file paths. So we are just gonna return those as well. Can we make that simpler? Is this synchronous? Get all file paths. No, that's async. Should be async. Okay. So we need a promise of um, I'm thinking that we'll just, it's a little bit weird. But anyways, we can return files to embed um, as part of returning this function. Where do we return it? Hello. Okay. So we'll return the index and we'll all file paths. That's files to embed. And then we need to change our promise so that the promise is actually a promise of the index and all file paths. And this is just a string array. And this is an index. This is, what should we call this? Let's call it data. This data, this initialize, and then way down here we have to say, wait, this data where the index is like that. And now we can create a new function here, a new method. Get all file paths, which would be async, where we do all file paths, and we just return them. And then we're going to create we're going to change the function. So we can keep this one. Oops. And then we're going to do get all file paths. That's going to be a function of get all file. Oops. Yeah, there's nothing special. Returns all the file paths in the application. And that's the one we're going to give. And then we need to change a few things, I guess. Bloop, 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 bloop. Up here, get on. Now we're going to just do get. Hello. Shouldn't that give me something? That's weird. Why aren't you? Is that there's something about them better? Why isn't it giving? Wait, shouldn't that give me get all file paths? This is weird. Any? Yeah. Hello. I'm sorry about the family emergency, but yeah, I am really looking forward to your email. I've been thinking about it a few times, but still don't like feel it's a rush. There's so much to take in here. So yeah, it would be awesome to see a demo of what you've been working on. Can I restart language server? Should also have as attribute the doc and prototype. Function with attributes? What do you mean specifically by attributes? Oh, look at this. It's just a language server. Interesting. Okay, so now we're getting all the file paths. And then, yeah, this typing is broken for some reason. That really annoys me. And there's no such thing anymore. Get all file paths. Okay. Oh, yeah. No, please throw everything and anything at me. Okay, but this is the thing, right? And again, like this is a very small application, so this would probably break down at some size. So it's probably not the right approach, but um, it's just an approach. Uh, okay, um, but let's. I think we're gonna draw a little bit here. Um, I need to draw. Oh yeah, document. Yeah, I do that. Like that's the uh, where was it? Um, oh, and then it pops up there. So annoying. Just because it pops up where I last focused, I think I'm gonna move back to VS Code. That's just so annoying to me. Yeah, so I have this schema builder here. So this is like the name. Since it's a func, this will be the parameters of the function and the required parameters, and then this is the description. Yeah. But okay, yeah, the drawing. What me draw here? I had a demo, by the way, which was nice. Talking about all this stuff. But let's think about this planning. What do I think is a good idea? So we have this request for change. It contains like conceptual information about um, like the feature description in the form of user stories. It talks about the specific interactions the user will have and what web elements they interact with. It also includes the behavior of interacting with the application, like how the state changes when the user interacts with the application. And it even has a freaking proof of concept in the form of code, view code. And now I want to convert that into something. And let's see. Let's make you. So I have this request for change, really. And I think I'm gonna just brainstorm a little bit. So where to implement? That's something like I kind of have to figure out where to implement. What existing files are affected? What new files need to be created? There's also this what are the dependencies? What is the dependency tree? So meaning that whatever files it identifies, how do they relate to each other? And this has to do with, and this I think this is important in the implementation, so that if you think about the implementation as a tree, so if you need to create like 3 new files, for example, those should be done first because they don't have any dependencies, or they don't have any dependents. So they are like more isolated implementations. And then you might have a parent file that's actually going to import these 3 files and kind of wire it together, for example. So that should happen last to avoid any confusion or reduce confusion, I'm thinking. I'm not sure how important it is, but Yeah, but I don't think. I think there's a only a specific area of coding that will work with tests. Like when you build a UI, tests doesn't help you much. Like with working on products with user interfaces and discussing with other engineers, I find this general sense that unit tests aren't worth much. It's the integration tests. And ideally, not really integration tests. Just have your application running in an environment, like its production version, running in an environment, and have automated, like real interactions with the app, actually running through the critical flows all the time. Yeah, yeah, it's like, so you can do like you can create a unit test for a state change. Yeah, maybe that becomes more, yeah, that it actually performs that state change. But I wonder, like, how can you validate the unit test? Like, how do you validate that it writes the correct test? It just seems to me at the end of the day, you need that human validation loop regardless. Um, yeah, but I have no experience with it. So, and you do. Um, so if you found that like writing unit tests actually makes it more capable of doing implementations on its own, that's very, very interesting. It definitely is. But I do wonder how we can reduce that human validation loop. Yeah, I think testing UI, it's just a very different thing. It's so insanely much more complicated than I was thinking about, like all these tools we give these AIs. So you can imagine like um yeah, like these tools that we give them, like how can they validate something? So if they have access to a terminal, they can run tests, right? So they can like actually run tests and get validation from those tests by just running a terminal command. But then you have a UI. How the hell do you give? So imagine like a function call that is run tests. That's very easy to implement compared to validate user experience. Like it's, how the hell do you validate the user experience as an LLM? Um, oh yeah, so you also validate the tests. I thought, okay, so I thought it would just kind of spit out the test on it on its own to kind of validate on its own, but um, yeah, front end testing, it's like a cesspool of discussions on how to actually test a front end application. Um, and I've written so many things where I've written unit tests, but those things are very much like pure functions. Like you have some input, you need to transform it in a predictable or to a certain amount of complexity, or like the degree of the number of different inputs is high, and you want to ensure that you produce the correct output. That's where I get into the zone. If I have a beer with me and I have a set of unit tests, I'm just writing through them. That's amazing. Like testing results starts super fast. Like it starts red, implement something, it goes green. It's amazing. But then you have something more complicated. It's like you have a timeout, just doing a timeout, or you have a web request that can fail, and it can fail in a million different ways. Um, or it might be a success, of course. And then you have to go in and you have to like mock that request, and you have to mock all the different error states. And doing that, it takes so much time. And then when you run it, it becomes fragile because it's async. beer, like a drink. uh, uh, but that's why. So, for example, like Code Sandbox, we're like, the best way for us to move fast and have a reliable solution is that we have a next environment. We have like next.codesandbox.io, and we have users that use that solution. Like they get a reduced bill or whatever, and that's their production environment. And then we'll always put stuff into production there first because they're always working on the critical flows. And then we just let something spin for like a couple of days to see if it breaks something, and then just push to production, as opposed to like going in and writing a bunch of tests that we're just going to change later, having CI problems because of async tests, and it's just yeah. Oh, yeah. In it's funny, like culturally, Norway is not much of a weed nation. It's very like we're very liberal, but weed has been, I don't know why. I think it's gonna change very soon. But yeah, it's not been much of a weed nation. We're more of a like we have, yeah, people drinking way too much alcohol, as if that's better, right? It's like it's silly. Um, but yeah, do, 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 do. Mm, okay, so we're gonna try something. Where to implement? Where to start? Um, use all file path. Champions. Yeah, isn't like in the Netherlands as well? I heard also even in Canada, it's more of a weed nation than alcohol nation. I think in the Netherlands it's like both. Yeah. Do you have? Is it legal there? Can you get like medicinal weed? I think you can actually get that in Norway now for medicinal purposes. Yeah. Use all file paths. So having all file paths, that's like that gives you so much insight into a code base. Like the file names, the structure of the files, because they're structured by like their dependency tree typically. Mm. Manipulate functions, components, endpoints, tools. They do not manipulate file paths directly. Well, they do write files, so in that sense, they need them to know where to write the new file, the new code content. Or don't you? Yeah, I'm curious. How do you actually update code? I have a very like simple, yeah, handy for human. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, why would you nest things in folders and stuff? Like an LLM wouldn't care about that stuff. I totally agree. It's a very human thing. But yeah, I'm curious. How do you actually update the code? Because the way I've done it is I read the full file and then I write the full new file. Oh, but how do they know? How, if you're going to add something new to a file, how does it know where to add it without knowing the full contents of the file? Do you just append everything to a file if it doesn't have like, and if it has a match already, like, yeah. Like, does it use embeddings? So you get like an embeddings result with a file path and a line number, and then you use that to like write. But how do you know if it's going to change something in a function? What do you mean by endpoint? Yeah, so what's cool about uh, Brute Logic, or Valentine, wasn't it Valentine? So that it has like a complete declarative layer, as I understand it, on top of this. So it's like you can describe the agent flow with, I guess it's like a XML type of thing. Okay, so you still have like, but how do you? So are these chunks, they are embeddings? How do you create the chunks? Do you use like a, like what text splitter? Is it specific for? Different types of bricks? Yeah, but I watched this interview with SourceGraph, the CTO, whatever the title is. He argued about do the dumbest thing first. Always do the dumbest, simplest thing first. Yeah, because you can get surprised. Like the worst thing is putting a ton of effort into something complex and then it doesn't work out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm super excited about that because that's something I haven't um like I thought about it, but yeah, done very simple things to. But I tried to kind of conceptualize in my head how could it work differently? Like how can you avoid reading the full file? Mm. But then you need, as you say, chunks. But then in my mind, it's like I'm looking at LangChain, how it creates text chunks, and you have for JavaScript and you have for HTML. But view files is a mix of JavaScript and HTML. So how do you do that, for example? And then you have React, which is even has JavaScript in the HTML. Like there's no good text splitter for it. Um, so even at that, like it just says to me a lot about where we're at. Um, and also looking at the tokenizer video from Andrei Karpathy. Oh, so it is a file. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was like a function within a file. But yeah, I was watching the tokenizer video by Andrei Karpathy, and like it's a freaking regex how they do identify tokens. Um, like it's part of the solution, but it's so funny to me that is like a regex that, and it affects so much. Like the tokenizer is also updated with every model typically, or has to this point, at least with OpenAI models. And that tokenizer, it affects so much of the results. It's such a low level feature. It's really interesting. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, so you see the chunks as attributes kind of for the view file. So whenever one of them changes, it, as you say, it regenerates the full file based on the chunks. Yeah. Oh, okay. But is this because it's view, or you think this is how it should work for any file? Um, uh, identify starting point. Um, so if I think if this will be valuable information, what existing file? Um, starting point and what files are affected. Maybe we can ask that. Maybe we should try that next. We're gonna ask both of those questions. What new files needs to be created? That's like a new question. What is the dependency tree? Yeah, whatever. Hmm. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to learning more about the approach. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna put back my. Yeah, and I'm wondering about that. Like I've been reflecting on like isolating changes to make it more predictable on reducing like the context needed to make the change and also make the change more reliable. But I feel it's a feeling, not hard facts, that a lot of coding has this much broader impact on the code. So if you were to like do the narrow reliable thing, the big thing won't work because you don't have the full context of everything that needs that should change. But then if you have the full context of everything, then it's difficult to do the narrow thing. It just feels like um yeah, this is conceptual, like philosophical almost, but it feels like there's this tug of war between having as much context as possible to make the right change and have as little and narrow context as possible to do the right thing. And there are different situations where this is valuable and it's hard to identify it. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just reflections. Let's see. Uh, JSON. So I want you to entry file pass to the entry file. Yeah, but I think that's yeah, I think that makes sense. But I think how do we know what context is enough? How do we determine what context it needs? And how can we be confident that we give enough context? Like looking at how we work as humans. It's so, it feels so random. Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, a sweet spot. Yeah, exactly. I haven't heard of hexagonal. Is that how you pronounce it? Architecture. Path to the entry file. Files affected. Files affected. Request for change. Figure out the most fitting entry file and other files affected by the change. Potentially affected by the change. Yeah, let's just do a JSON stringify. Oh, interesting. What do you call a hexagonal architecture? Boards and adapters to achieve separation of concern and isolate external systems and other external codes such as user. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna read this. That's super interesting. Thanks. Yeah, separation of concern. That's something I'm very familiar with. I haven't had like any framework to think about it. That's good. Like any tool that can help you think in a good way, that's always valuable. Hmm. Mm-hmm. File to create. Should be created. Fitting and and what files would need to be created. Oh, now it's a Firebase app. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. I don't think this. Oh, what the hell happened? Oh, look at this. Unexpected end of JSON. Oh, was it too big? No, was it too big? But yeah, I I do think I need to, like, we have some tools. That's a good thing with the stream today. Like, we were able to build some tools. But I don't feel mentally prepared. I need some subconscious thinking on this and have some concrete ideas. I was very like hyped on the markdown thing and getting that embedder working just to have a way to get some conceptual insight into the code. But I had no idea what I was actually going to use it for, and I still don't. Um, hmm, 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 hmm. Yeah. Beer, beer, not bear. But yeah, I'll give him your best. Have fun cleaning. We'll talk later. By the way, I think I'm gonna drop off as well. I'm super. It's so hot here today, and I'm like, um, or maybe okay. Let's give it 1 minute of thinking. Is there an idea behind this? Um, um, what we could try to do, what would be fun, is like just give it all the tools, and then so let's give it. But what does search application actually like? What does it mean? Why would you search application? Hmm. Yeah, I'm completely lost here. I'm not sure what I want to do. What do I do when someone asks me to implement something? I kind of just immediately have an idea, and it's just because I have this inherent knowledge of the code base. Um, so how do you provide that as context to do something new? Like it has to figure out where should I start. Like that has to be like a good starting point. And from that, it needs to figure out and just that challenge is like having the file paths and the file names does give you a good indication, because then if you had like different pages, that will be part of the file path, and you would evaluate like how do you know about these different pages, that it even has different pages. You will kind of, or do you just give it everything? Just go give it all the code, and it will just figure it out. That doesn't make any sense to me. But maybe I'm thinking about two things at the same time here. I'm thinking about like how do you implement something in an existing code base, and how do you implement something new? Mm, and it's not much context, just having the file path. Like, how can that be enough? It can't be enough. So what could be a thing is to reduce like number of tokens. No, that doesn't make any sense. Like I feel like this could be such a powerful tool because it has the conceptual information about what's in each file, and it has the file path. Um, but I don't know what this tool really is for the LLM. Like it could use it for anything. It could use it for literally prompt it to give me a good starting point. But how do you like encourage? How do you define that functionality for such a tool? Uh, I do say search instead of prompt. Um, maybe Oh, maybe we should think about it as an agent on its own. So, yeah, prompt the application agent to get information uh, about the application. Okay, we're gonna try this. Prompt application agent. Because it really is an agent. Like Llama Index under the hood is kind of an agent. It has this vector store, but it also has this LLM layer on top of it, so you can actually query, you can actually prompt it and get like a response back. And then it can use that response to produce like a JSON if there are certain things I really want to do. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna drop that. I really want that tool. That's the thing. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make that tool work better. That's our goal. Make it as powerful as possible. Yeah, I guess we can just do. Oops. Wait, why did you? Oh, prompt application agent. And then we're gonna bring back. I guess prompt application. It's kind of like thinking of the file system and the conceptual code as like an agent in and of itself that other agents can talk to. That's an interesting concept. Okay, I'm just gonna ask again and see what it does with the tool. Interesting. Oh, did it go unexpected end of JSON? That's interesting. It did it again. Oh, but it doesn't have the full yeah. So it just passes the freaking prompt to the that's interesting. Where? Oh, again, link there. Okay. Based on the provided request for change. Well, we're not passing it a request for change. That's that doesn't work. Find the most fitting entry file. It's interesting. Like I would expect it to. Yeah, I don't know. For this feature, yeah, I don't know. I expected something else. I'm not sure what I expected. But something else. I have to go shortly. I have to go by the store for picking up the kids. Yeah. For this feature. So it definitely is not good at using. Okay, but maybe we should think about this the other way around again, because we are able to so what if we're gonna try something interesting. we are gonna change this. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. So run agent tech lead. So we're not gonna do that. We are gonna test. We're just gonna await async. Test equals await this dot functions. Was it get application code? No. What was it? Oh, sorry, embedder. Search code embeddings. And then we're gonna take this prompt from the planner. Because we're actually asking an LLM about something, and that's kind of hidden. I think that's so we are actually yeah, we need to think about it as an agent in and of itself. Idea. Find the following with the following request for change. Give me information about current files. Me information about current files and features affected. Yeah. So currently we are just returning the response. So we're going to try that. And we can probably it's just an LLM. It's just a prompt, so we can format that if we want to do it. But I'm very curious what it returns when it has like such a broad prompt. And we're just asking to just rip out all the context you have related to this request for change. And then we can start iterating on that. The current files affected by the request are the Vue.js component template file and the associated function. The Vue component template file defines a container with padding, includes functionality methods to add tasks, and delete tasks from the list, and based on the changes requested in the request will. Okay. Memories and proof of content consent to enhance the task manager with the ability to write, add, view. That's interesting. This is kind of exactly what I was expecting. Like I stated earlier, like this is exactly what I was expecting. Yeah, this is very interesting. So what if this is just a way to actually produce a prompt for our agents? This is very interesting. It feels very powerful. But really weird how it wrote it though. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Does it actually have code? Why does it say that? Oh, wait a minute. It gets confused. It hallucinates because the proof of concept has that information. The Vue component template file defines a container with padding, includes an input. Yeah, but this is not the Vue component template file. Oh, template file? And this is interesting. So maybe we shouldn't pass all the things. The changes requested in request for change involve adding user stories, interaction behavior, and a proof of concept snippet to enhance. Yeah, but that's fine. I really just want you to give me the file or the files involved. What is this other one? The following person create a view application. Yeah. So what if we return the matching files with their text as a response? And we send that to the agent and we say, this is the RFC. These are the files. But again, I'm like sending the full. I wonder about the proof of concept. The proof of concept has code in it. It's not necessary. It's not needed to. That's only when it starts suggesting what to implement. It's not needed to evaluate. I think. Regardless, it did what it was supposed to, I think. But it also included the main file. But what if we do this? What if we return we don't care about the response. We really only care about the source nodes. So let's keep that, which has a file path. And then we're going to say files, related files. And then we're going to send this to, so we're not only going to give it the idea, we're also going to give it the files, and then we're going to ask it to basically just suggest an implementation. Okay, with the, okay, we're kind of going to do the same thing. The following request for change and affected files delimited by, we're gonna do it, by the way, request for change. I think, I have a feeling these lower affected files. Like, I have no idea if this makes any kind of sense. Related files, affected files, anyways, map, path. I think we can just stringify them. JSON stringify. And it's so funny when I say like, this is exactly what I expected. It's like, it's literally, there isn't anything in the app. Like, how would this look like in a huge ass application? And then we say to the planner, planning, we don't need to do this. Let's just do prompt. And then we're gonna say, let's suggest an implementation plan. And then we're just gonna see where we're at. And we're not gonna do JSON here. I wonder what the cost is. Oh, now we're prompting the application agent again. We should not do that. No functions for you. Yeah, anyways, that doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna try this and then look at the result and then we'll keep reflecting and playing and hopefully something comes out of it at the end. But it's a big prompt. Yeah. Okay, this is nice. Add the template code provided in the request for change. Well, this is correct. It really is. Because like the proof of concept in this case is actually the implementation, so it shouldn't do anything more than just applying that code. And it's kind of cool that it goes in and verifies that it's imported. I don't care about this stuff, of course. And it is true. If it does what it states here, that is correct. Then it will implement it correctly. But it gets way more interesting when we start doing persistence and authentication. Then like the complexity increases a lot. But I'm actually happy about this. And I think, yeah, and this should just be more structured, right? Because now we're just getting a response. But what we can do is we can create a JSON for like implementation steps. And we can prompt it to not include like testing, review, and deployment. And documentation, who cares about that? This is really cool. I like our current conclusion that this llama index is basically a local agent. Hi, Tove. How are you doing, Tommy? Back in Norway, I guess? Are you getting settled? Are you working? Did you get a job? Yeah, task-based agentic framework. Is that a thing? That's exactly what interesting. Yeah, because that's what what you're stating there, like getting away from the conversation style task solving. For complex problems, you need structure. And into our JSON guided concise all of tasks. This is very interesting. Task gen. Definitely gonna look at this. Part 2? Where's part 1? Task gen. Okay, I'm definitely gonna look at this. How do I watch later? Thanks for the tip, Adam. This is great because this is what I've been kind of chasing, or this is kind of the big realization, is that we can't have conversation style implementation of it. We need very specific context structure to do complex things. So So it's really nice to see someone that actually building on strict JSON. I wonder. Oh yeah, I guess this is for inspiration, and because this is, was it written in Python, of course. Yeah, but this is very interesting. Oh, here's some calculate your generalist example. I don't know, split design type. I don't run. Give me 5 words rhyming with cool and make 5 words and identify. Getting on. Huh. That's very interesting. Use. And has a stricter with a function like in for repeated use of modular based function. I guess that's kind of, if I understand this correctly, that's kind of what I've been battling with. It's like getting a strict JSON response. Oh, this is so interesting. Oh, this is so funny. I was thinking about not in terms of function, but in terms of prompting, that you could pass it variables using template literal strings, and they will automatically like put it into like brackets and stuff. But this is, I really like this, like identify subtasks. It's really, really cool. Yeah, shared variables. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about. Like now we're doing the state management in the app itself. You could do like in the agent router, you could have like shared variables kind of thing. But I'm very curious about like memory bank. I'm very curious about the prompting used there. Oh yeah, Tommy. Yeah, I'm actually a front-end developer. Gaming company. Oh, gaming as in betting. Oh no, a racing game. Okay, that's really cool. Oh, okay. Oh well, you have to, yeah, you have to come over soon. I haven't met any of my real friends for like, I don't know, a year or something, well, even more, I think. Yeah, you have to get over here. We have to drink. Uh, oh yeah, no worries, Adam. This is super great input. I really liked it. Just this idea of subtasks, identifying subtasks. It's very, very interesting. And also actually making that the state of the agent. You can track the subtasks it's working on. As very, very interesting. So I definitely think there's tons of inspiration here. So I'm really looking forward to the videos because those are typically more inspirational. But yeah, okay, I have to go. I have to go to the store before I pick up the little rascals, and then I'll be back streaming tomorrow. And then our goal is going to be, we're actually happy about it. It does exactly what we wanted to do, but it is a very simple idea we have here. So we are gonna try to create a more complex idea. We're gonna think about persistence and authentication. That's the level of complexity I've been playing around with. Like actually have authenticate with Google, persist the tasks in Firestore, stuff like that. So we're gonna try that and see what happens with the planning. And yeah, and see what happens with the planning. And we'll keep the planning as this single agent spitting out some stuff for now, just to see how it deals with more complexity. And then when we have a more complex idea and we're happy with what it spits out, we're gonna create some more structure around it and add more agents to verify the implementation or the plan. And then when we're happy about that, we're going to say start implementation. That's going to be, and that is going to be very specific. It's just go through the files and implement the code. Maybe we could play around with the idea of reading the files and then adding code comments to see if it helps. We should try without it first. And then yeah, and then the debug flow, it's already implemented. So debug would be basically just here you interact with the application, it's running. You whenever a runtime error occurs, it will just hook onto it immediately and try to resolve it. Or suggest how to solve it, or you can talk to it and say, this is not what I expected. And then the question is, what happens then? I think there's another flow here, which is not like whenever you play with the app and you want to change something, that shouldn't go into an idea, planning, implementation, and debug. Like there should be some fiddling workflow that's faster, I think. Anyways, this is great. Thanks for joining, and we'll talk later. Have a great day, Tommy and Adam.